It's something we don't want to think about, but we need to do, and the sooner, the better. I'm talking about estate and elder care planning, figuring out where our assets will go later in life and eventually after we die. Here with advice is elder law and estate planning lawyer Robert Slutsky. Robert, thank you for joining us today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, there's different stages of this process, and it depends on how old you are. So when should you start this planning process?
Well, ideally, we want to start it when we become adults. In other words, children don't need estate planning quite as much because their parents can deal with their problems for them.
Right.
What you want to do is ask the what-if question depending upon what stage of life you're at. If you're younger, maybe just starting out, have a family, you have the basic needs like some basic life insurance, powers of attorney, wills. The what-ifs there are, what if you pass away without any planning? What if you pass away without life insurance? What debts will your family have to pay off that they don't have your income for?
Right.
What if you have a child that doesn't, that's a minor that might need a guardian if both of you are gone? Also, people have to think about disability. A lot of people don't really anticipate being disabled. Many more people in this country have life insurance but don't have disability insurance. As we get older, we're more in the accumulation phase where we're accumulating assets that we have to address. Again, the spouse issue, the minor children issue, that's often the same, particularly because people wait longer today to have children. So we're talking about the same disability and if you become impaired or pass away. As you age and you've accumulated assets, now we have to start thinking about retirement and getting older and needing care. Something that becomes more of an issue as we age and after we accumulate assets is what's going to happen in the drawdown phase. We've now accumulated assets, but what's going to happen to those assets? Are we going to need to annuitize them to live as we age? The big thing that I deal with in my practice is elder care planning from a long-term care perspective. As people age, some people are going to need long-term care, whether they get it at home or in a facility. And we also have to consider the tax costs and if we become cognitively unable to manage our affairs. If some people get Alzheimer's, they get other forms of dementia. So we have to look at all of those things and how they work together as challenges for our planning in general.
Now, this can be overwhelming. It's something maybe you don't want to think about or don't want to put on the front burner. To make it more comfortable for folks, what does the process involve?
Well, it is very complex, and and we're all procrastinators.
Right.
But the process itself is simply getting advisors in place. They can advise you and they can guide you through the process. But what you want to do is have a basic financial plan, and that can be something you do yourself or with a low-load mutual fund company, or you have a financial advisor. A lawyer has to be part of that discussion, and you preferably want a lawyer who deals with this on a regular basis, someone who has seen what can happen and can help you plan for avoiding the problems, but also deal with the problems if they occur.
So if you're not speaking directly with a lawyer, bring one in?
Yes, and usually if you don't know someone who's done it, the best way to get a lawyer or any other professional, in my opinion, is getting a referral from a friend or someone else who's had experience with that professional.
And just pick the phone up, right?
It's the best way.
Okay, sooner the better. And the next time you see Robert, he'll be talking about the tools of elder care planning. For more on elder care and estate planning and Robert M. Slutsky & Associates, go to cbsphilly.com and click on Talk Philly. We'll be right back.